So you caught her out of the pen, you tied her up, brushed her, she's ready to go. I'd take her to the round pen and I'd start right here. I would have brought her through the gate and I would ask her to flex. So let's see you do it, because I already showed you off camera. So you.
Good morning, everyone. Today me and my dad were headed to St. John's to help my uncle and aunt. They're building a house over there, and some of my dad's other siblings are there helping with the house right now too. So we're gonna go help with the house today, where we've also got the trailer hooked up. You can see it through the window back there, and we got our little pony loaded up in the trailer and ready to go. And we're gonna get some tips from my uncle on what we should do to train it. But right now we're here at McDonald's getting some McAllens, is what we call them. My dad gets a sausage biscuit, a sausage McMuffin, and then we get hash browns and add it to it, and oh, it's good. So since my dad started that, we call it the McAllen.
It's famous. Just go to your local McDonald's and ask for a McAllen. And no, just kidding. I wish they'd sponsor me though.
That would be cool.
So, sorry, I'm coughing here. So, what's Uncle Levi gonna do? Help us with?
He's gonna help us work with this colt back here. Just give us some training tips and see.
This isn't a colt. This is your little pony, Dolly.
Oh yeah, that's what we named her, is Dolly. My mom decided the name of Dolly, and so this little Palomino, we're calling her Dolly, and we're just gonna go see what we can do with her in one day, but also be productive on the house. Anyways, if you like these videos, please subscribe and follow us along on this trip. Okay, here's our famous McAllens. There's the sausage sandwich with the hash brown right in the middle, and they're delicious.
They're the bomb.com.
They're perfecto de Bob.
Try them out sometime and tell them Alan sent you.
Yeah.
Tell them the Farm 166. They're just kidding. They would have no clue what it is. But right now, sausage McMuffins are 2 for $2, so they're $1 a piece. And then we're kind of cheap. Then we get 1 hash brown for 2 sausage McMuffins. So you break it in half, and
It's good.
it's
really
perfecto
good.
de Bob. So, all right, let's go.
All right, have a good day.
Well, Blake and Levi and the rest of them have all done a great job. They've got the, what do you call it, fascia, I think it's called, up. And so the hard part's done, and we're gonna go work with the horse a little bit. Sorry. Well, we've had a good day. Blake was a lot of help up on the roof, and I helped a little bit with some electrical and just some odd jobs, but Anyway, St. John's has this cool covered, it's kind of a round pen. It's where they do their livestock auctions for the county fair and stuff. And so we're out of the wind, and my brother Levi's gonna be right here to just give us a few pointers for Dolly here. So when we worked with Dolly a little bit, I just noticed she gets in my space. She kind of pushes into me. Instead of giving away from pressure, she pushes into it. And anyway, the little bit I've worked with her, for one thing, she doesn't lead great yet. But then the other thing, like if I try to get her to give her head, she's not giving it. Right now,
So look how much she's making you work.
I know.
She's really making you work.
But
A lot of that's your position.
okay. But the other day, I mean, I could get her to give her head more, but she really pushes into me.
So even watch this.
Come over here.
So even watch it as you look at her body even here. So she, look at how she's leaning. Look at even her.
Yeah.
She's actually physically leaning.
She's
against
pushing
me.
into me.
And so, there's a couple things. One is, see how close you were?
Yeah.
That gives her an opportunity to lead. So if I'm right here, we could get in a pushing match and look at how she's gonna just resist it.
And we
She's
did the other day, and I thought I've seen you tell him to get closer to him. So I was confused.
So,
That's what
yeah.
I need help with.
So you're dealing with two different types of horses. Ones that you are worried about kicking or bolting, you need to have close proximity. It allows you more leverage, keeps you safer. Right here is the safest point on a horse. This right here. So you're gonna need to be close if you feel like one's gonna try to cow kick you, or one that you feel like you need some leverage. But look at, as I get close, but look at her nose. Look at how her nose is this way.
Yeah.
So it's just her shoulder.
The other day, she was giving her head all the way around. But right now, she's down.
So one is I would just work on here. I'd stand right here, have her give her nose. Stand here, hold the pressure, she gives it, give it back to her. Have her take her nose all the way up, add the pressure, and I'm gonna actually step back here. So she can't lean into me. I'm gonna stay almost at her hip, okay? She's trying to find me almost right here. You can see she's physically even almost off balance. She'll take big steps. Good. She'll take really big steps. But this is a vulnerable position if I felt like if she was gonna try kicking and all of that type of stuff. So you need to know your horse before you get to this. If it's one that you're worried about, maybe you do stand closer. But in her case, it is gonna make her, she's got this natural tendency to wanna lean,
It's really weird.
which is fine. Like I said, you're dealing with a horse that's just different, a lot different than you've dealt with you guys. But softness and willingness in the lateral flexion of their head is gonna be key. If you can get a horse soft and supple side to side, it keeps you safe. It allows the horse to be a lot more agile, because if they're leaning on you, pressure in their mouth, pressure here, it's just a cascade of problems. They can't move this front end as much if they're leaning against you. Notice even here, as she was before leaning into me here, and her nose is this way because she was kind of bracing.
Yeah.
Her shoulders pushing this way, her head's that way. Notice here, as I bring that nose, what does that shoulder do?
It moves away.
See how it naturally has to go that way.
Okay.
So if you have a horse that's wanting to lean into you, if I can get this nose, again, look at that shoulder. When that nose goes away, the shoulder goes into me. When the nose is towards me, the shoulder's out away from me. And I'm just stand back of the hip, if it's more comfortable, you could go here, but my visibility of her head's not as good. So a lot of times I'll turn sideways. And so get her soft and supple this way, side to side. That'll be, like I said, it'll pay dividends when you go to get on her. Like we could get on her like this, tie this, or you could ride her for the first time. And if I could get her nose like this, I'm safe. Like right now, I could get on and feel like she's not gonna be able to hurt me because I've got control of her nose. If you've got control of their nose, the rest of the body kind of follows.
So really, we just need to work on the flexion.
That's the first problem I was seeing. That's not the major problem. She does need to learn how to get off of pressure. Like if you apply pressure, she needs to learn not to lean into it. But that started here. That needs to start at her just being willing to give to the lead rope. Because like I said, as I saw you lead, and then you came here and tried to make her disengage, her nose was going that way and her shoulder was going this way. So again, the root of the problem, or a lot of the problem, like right here. Look at the nose.
Let's stand forward.
As soon as I bring it here, she's not pushing on me here anymore.
Okay.
So
Now, am I trying to get her, when I do pull her neck back, her head back, am I trying, and I'm trying to get some motion. Am I wanting her front end to come with me or the back end to move?
that's up to you.
Okay,
You got to know what you're asking.
tell me what you're gonna ask and then show me how you do it.
So, if you're wanting the shoulders to move, you don't want to be in the way of the shoulders, unless you're gonna have the shoulders move that way. You're never gonna want the shoulders to move this way if I'm standing here.
Okay.
Because that, like I said, that would be like if I stood here at Blake and said, hey, Blake, walk this way.
Okay.
Walk directly that way. And we do that. And he can't. And then we're like, Blake, go. Why aren't you moving? And then he'll start going like this. And he's like, I'm trying to move. And you're like, get away. So we got to know what we're asking. That's the key thing, is you've got to know what you're asking and then making sure you're consistent on how you ask it. There's lots of methods out there on how to ask. And so I'm more just, you've got to be consistent on how you ask it and know what you're asking. Because again, a lot of times we ask something, but we don't even know what we're really, we kind of get mad and we don't know what the end part would be to get her hind end to disengage. Again, I need her nose tipped this way in order to get the hind end. I want this. Good. I want that back end to pivot and this front end not to. She's really eager to move that front end. But notice, as I had her head here, she couldn't run me over.
She couldn't, you said?
No, because like I was able to stay ahead of her. So she wasn't actually pushing on me. I was just trying to make that hustle, so I was doing some movement. But here, I'm gonna push, pressure. Good. So I'm gonna break it down a little bit more instead of, I just wanted to see what she would do with.
So show that again.
So I got her nose.
So you pull her nose.
Pressure, more. Good. It steps away. I stop. I get the nose, pressure. Good. And if she pushes into me,
See how?
that's fine. Just get movement happening. As far as keep pressure. There. And as soon as she gets out of your space, stop. That's like here, pressure, pressure, pressure. And there, I don't love that, but I do want to relax for a second and then go back to. So here, if I move into her, I want pressure, pressure, pressure. She goes. She moves, I stop, and now I'm gonna ask her.
She disengages the back end a lot better than that front end. And I think that's what caught me off guard the other day, is just how much her front end was in my face. And
so again,
and I was putting that pressure, maybe I didn't do it long enough, and I felt like the more pressure I put, the more she was in my face.
But notice again, I'm not gonna push. I'm not physically pushing her out of, because you have a tendency to go like this. And notice, I'm physically pushing her. So again, what if I push? What does she do?
She's gonna push
She
back.
braces. And let's say she actually gives. I'm so off balance, I'm still pushing. But here, so now I raise, I elevate, I pressure, she moves, I immediately can get rid of it. And it was never a shove. If horses feel pressure, like actual contact, they always want to lean into it. So we need to be able to apply pressure without actually putting our hands on it. So again, I'm going to elevate my hands. I'm going to elevate my energy here. Ask her to move out of that. She does. Good. I don't want to let her nose get away from me.
So that's teaching them to put their back into you, right?
Yeah, so notice here. So pressure, pressure, pressure. She moves. I kind of...
Now, why the hand elevated, the left hand?
Again, what if I go like this? I come in more intimidating.
Okay.
Instead of like this, and then all of a sudden I'm in your face, and then
You
going...
look like some little guys playing basketball.
Yeah. But if I'm walking into you, and I'm like, hey, Alan, I'm coming, then it gives you a chance. That's what I was
chance
saying.
to think about what.
Chance to think about moving. And I'm consistent. So I elevate, I'm here, pressure, 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 pressure. And I'm gonna ask for a little bit more. Good. Notice I never had to touch her.
Yeah.
I never had to. And as soon as she moved and got out of there, I stopped. So the horses are gonna learn from the release of pressure. They have no idea a lot of times why the pressure comes. They don't like it. But as we take that pressure away, they're like, okay, that was nice. And so then they look for that the next time. But if every time is changing, like if this next time I kind of come in here, and I'm like, stupid horse, move, move, move. Again, look at how she goes right back to leaning and pushing. But as I consistently, okay, my energy raises, I'm here, good. Notice how she's starting to respect that.
Yeah.
And I should be able to walk into her here. I should be able to walk in and pet her. But notice my body language changes from just this of like, hey, good girl, to okay, let's move. Pressure, 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 pressure. Good. Good.
That's awesome.
So you caught her out of the pen, you tied her up, brushed her, she's ready to go. I'd take her to the round pen and I'd start right here. I would have brought her through the gate and I would ask her to flex. So let's see you do it, because I already showed you off camera.
So you do it with your left hand. Is that right?
Yep, and closer to the horse.
Closer, and just
Pressure,
release.
but again, notice this isn't realistic pressure of where you'd be if you were on the horse. We always want what we do on the ground to transition to there.
So we want it up here.
You want it a little closer, yeah. Because out here, really, she can't even give to that at a certain point. See how if my hand's out here, her neck doesn't just extend.
Okay.
But she can always, we're asking for this bend in her pole there. So I just give, release. So hold the pressure so she takes it away.
Release.
Okay, but she gave along the way and you took up that pressure. Does that make sense?
Quicker?
Yeah. So just like this, I explain it this way. So let's imagine we're here and I want you to pull against me. Like I'm a horse. I'm going to pull, pull, pull. What happened when I released?
Right.
You took up the slack right away. Now pull against me. Now release. See how it was immediate?
Yeah.
So do it again, just so you can feel it. Pull, 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 and then release, like you're a horse. It's right away. So notice my hand's different. I'm
So it's
set.
locked.
I'm setting pressure, and then as soon as they release, they immediately get a
Come
chance
over
to
here.
feel that. You do need her to actually resist to learn. Like she needs to feel some pressure.
She's giving really good though.
She
right
is.
now,
So let's up it. So again, you're so
show,
close.
show me what you mean.
You're so close. She can't give either.
Okay.
Move back here. I want her to resist. So right there, she gives. So find, if she just immediately gives, which is great, but there.
So I'm trying to push her a little bit past what she's wanting.
So I kind of find where she holds, hold, she gives. So find where there's pressure, which on one, like what I did off camera, you would have felt quicker, but she's a super smart horse and it's picking up really fast.
Let me try
Let's
the
do it
other.
on the other
Yeah,
side
let me
and
try.
I think you'll pull. Closer to the, and move with her. Stay at her hip, stay at her hip, stay at her hip, stay at her hip. Walk towards her hip. Yeah, don't try to push her shoulder, just keep walking. You almost step on her back foot. Don't.
I almost step on her back.
Yeah, so watch. So to get out of the way of the front end, if I'm here, I'll step on that. I'll step on her front foot. Because if I'm that close, notice she's not gonna step on me with her front. And I'm not literally going to, like I'm exaggerating. I wouldn't normally kick their back foot. But notice how I followed that and how easy it was? Is I followed the hindquarters. But if I'm up here and I'm trying to fight getting out of the way the whole time, I'm in a defensive mode. If I'm back here, I'm in an offensive mode of just kind of staying out of the way. That's what I was mean. You were kind of here
Yeah.
to where you were constantly scrambling. And again, that does not allow you, when she finally stops and wants to give a release. Yeah, hold. There, perfect. So again, I'm gonna ask for movement here and kind of show you. So I asked for it, so I added energy, wanting movement. Now I don't want movement, so I gotta change my body language. So I'm here, I relax. I'm not working hard. I'm relaxed here, waiting on her. Perfect.
I noticed you put your hand across her body when you want her to stop.
That's more me. Again,
Just
I
so
do things sometimes without thinking. That does help you stay closer. If I hold here. Again though, if she's a complete bronc, that may make her nervous. But yeah, right here, I'll hold and that kind of keeps me close to her body. So I'd ask her to flex both directions. I'd get her good that way to where I could hear pressure. She gives, I release. I love that she's holding her head there. Like I said, that's a very, and you notice even in her demeanor, her eyes are relaxed.
Softer.
Her ears are very relaxed. Her head's down. And like I said, it's huge. Most horses, lots of horses, are gonna take that head. It's almost like a slinky type. You pull, they take it right back. That's not very willing. This is really willing, so that's really impressive. So go to both sides. At the beginning, I'd walk her around. I just walk around. Notice I didn't pull, I'm relaxed. I come to this side, get her to give. She gives, perfect. She takes it away, that's fine. I'm just gonna ask her to bring it right back. This side, notice she's a little less willing. That's normal, that one side's better than another. That really is very common, just like we're left-handed or right-handed. So I kind of add pressure, wait for her right there. She's given a ton. And so I'm barely finding any resistance, but right there was resistance. So I hold that, she gives, I release. There's resistance, good. Good.
So you do this every day, even with your trained horses?
Yeah, regardless of how many rides. If I'm gonna warm a horse up to rope and they're a finished roped horse, I'm gonna flex them both ways. Not with a halter, normally. I'm gonna do it on their back with the bridle. But softness is the key to a lot of the things we're gonna ask. And so the softer they are in their pull, the easier a lot of things are gonna be.
That's awesome.
So
Levi just said now the next step would be to work on disengaging their hindquarters. And why did you say you want to do that?
So you can imagine on a car, this would be their engine. The hindquarters are the horse's power. That's where their power comes from. So if I'm going to get on a horse that's got a lot more strength than I do, I want to have control of that power. That's just, you can call me a wimp or whatever, but you're going to want control of the engine. So I always, on the ground, first time I work with them, I want to start getting control of this. Again, I need their nose to be willing to come, and then I'm going to ask that hindquarters to give. If I'm cross-legged like this, I've lost my power. I can't go forward without them straightening my legs. Horses are the same way. If this leg crosses over here, they're vulnerable, and they know that. They don't do that subconsciously. They're allowing themselves to be a little vulnerable. So when I start asking her to disengage, is what they call disengage the hindquarters, I'm going to ask this leg to step in front here. There's going to be a lot of movement in her, especially up here, but I'm just paying attention to here, and to stay safe, I'm going to keep this nose toward me. So I keep this nose, put pressure here. She didn't step over, there she did. I release the pressure, I stop. Again, notice I love that she's starting to move away. Instead of her first reaction to be towards me.
Yeah, she was right in my face.
She went away and decided to do that, which is great. But notice I gave her the opportunity. I didn't close up that space. I didn't take up that release. I put the pressure, she gave to it. She was allowed to move away without any pressure. So let's do it on this side. I bring the nose, I put pressure here. Notice where I'm standing. I want to be right here. She's doing really good. I want to be out here far enough to where I'm not right on top of her where she can lean, but I want to very directly be focused with my energy towards the body part I want to move. So if I go, I'm putting pressure here, here, good. That was perfect. She kind of took her nose away from me, but she gave it right back, which was good. So I'm going to bring the nose, pressure here. Good. Really good.
That's awesome. So those are some exercises we can work on this week, is trying to just flex the head both ways and then disengage the hind quarter. So
Okay,
I'm going to...
Good. Stop. Good. You did about one step too many. Like
Just 'cause I
you
didn't
pressure,
I
and then
didn't-
you kind of,
I didn't release quick enough?
yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know if I should release, so you did, that was perfect, right?
Oh wait, I wasn't even looking there. I
Okay,
guess I'm not
so
worried
no,
about
just
it.
go ahead and walk there. So if she does movement without you asking it, that's fine. Just follow it.
I'll just follow it.
Just follow for a minute and let her
She's
kind of relax.
doing it, but I'm not asking
You
her.
didn't ask.
But she does it pretty good.
So right there, you need to pay attention to what
Oh,
she's
that's what I
doing to
need to-
you. She's being a brat.
She's starting to.
She's
She
being
just
a
pinned her
complete
ears
brat.
in.
And so you need to be, you're so focused there, she just gave a lot of behaviors that you do not want to encourage. But yeah, just follow it. But right now you're adding pressure. So do you want movement or do you not want movement?
Or just by putting it in the
Yeah,
hand?
that's pressure. This is pressure.
Okay.
Good. Really good. Perfect.
You want to try it?